Hi, Trej here. Welcome to the workshop. Today is the 23rd of November 2023, and some of you may know that that is the 60th anniversary of the long-running TV show of Doctor Who. Well, long-running, yeah, 60 years, obviously, long-running. So I thought I would look at some sonic screwdrivers that I've made in the past, whilst also showing you a sonic screwdriver that I'm working on at the moment, which is taking the toy sonic screwdrivers that you can get, that anybody can get, and showing you how they can be customised to make something a little bit more unique for yourself. Whilst also having that unique, not unique, recognisable feature of the television sonic screwdrivers. So that's what I'm going to be doing now. They're just kept up in that black box there, which is actually some drawers. So I'll give you a close-up in a moment, but that's my sonic screwdriver collection there. Oh, that's most of them anyway. I can't do this while I'm holding you, Iris, so I'm going to have to put you down now, sweetheart. Yes, I am. No, whoa. I don't have to put her down. That's, no, I didn't mean that. No, oh, poor baby, I wouldn't do that to you. Oh, there. That's disgusting. I don't want your tongue in my mouth, that's gross. Okay, I'm just going to put Iris down on the floor and then I can show you my sonic screwdrivers. Okay, just a moment. There you go. Good girl. Good girl. Okay. Sonic screwdrivers. Let's go over here and take a closer look. Okay, so here are my sonic screwdrivers. Perhaps we'll go that way. Okay, let's move that out of the way first of all. We've got a bunch of different ones in here. This one, obviously based on the Matt Smith sonic screwdriver, is a pen. Yeah, if you see the little nib there. Oh, wobbling the camera. There we go. So that's a little pen. It doesn't work anymore, but still kind of cool little miniature sonic screwdriver. I'm interested in miniature sonic screwdrivers for a reason, which I shall show you in just a moment. And there, of course, is the standard Matt Smith sonic screwdriver. Cool. There's one just with a simple paint job on, just like stone effect paint. And that was just to give the hand a little bit of texture, to make it look a little bit different to the standard one. So at a glance, at a distance, it looks like it's a different device. Obviously, it's the same sort of, it's based on the same toy. This is just a little bit of masking tape. And then this is a modelling putty called Green Stuff, which you may or may not be familiar with. It comes in like, it's like a yellow and blue strip, and then you mix the two together and it goes green, hence called Green Stuff. But it sets like plastic, which is kind of hard and firm. And as you can see, I just put some circle shapes in. That's just to give it the idea that maybe this is Gallifreyan writing. These little green bits here, these are from sprues from Necron guns. Necron's from the Games Workshop, Warhammer 40,000 universe, and the green sprue plastic parts there, they comes from the old on their blaster rifles. Yeah, they had these green plastic parts, so I just chopped off a bit of sprue. The idea was hopefully that it would pick up the glowiness and illuminate those slightly. So even if you can't see the actual emitter, then those would pick up the green glow. So let's see that compared to the normal one. Yeah, you see, so it just makes it like it's got a larger emitter. But the claws, I was never really a fan of the claws, and I've seen the 14th Doctor's got the same kind of claw effect on. I don't really like that, but you know, that's just me, that's my taste. So anyway, that's part of the reason I taped that shut, was so it was just a single device without the claw thing going on. And yeah, so that was just to make it look a little bit different. That was to be used as what was known as the Dark Doctor in a fan film series that a friend of mine was working on over in Hull at University. It didn't end up getting finished, but there we go. That's just a standard laser screwdriver by the Master. So let's move that to one side. Now this began life as another version of the laser screwdriver. We were going to do our own Master, and we wanted our own Master's laser screwdriver, so we came up with this. As you can see, it is just some rifles taken from some different toys and stuck onto a, this is actually a miniature lightsaber toy. A couple of bits stuck on, just that's just like a button. I think that's off some jeans actually. That's a button off some jeans, and a bit of wire stuck on. Just, you know, a bit of wires here and there just to give it some shape. A bit of paper clip, I want to say, and then some kind of industrial sized paper clip, and it's all just to give it a bit of different texture. A little teeny wire there as well, and then that way, so again, just at a distance, you can have your Master going, I'll laser screwdriver you. But yeah, that's what that one is. Okay, so now we're getting down to this is just a backup a backup sonic screwdriver from the 9th and 10th Doctor's era. I say a backup to the main one that I used in my fan film series over on Lungbarrow Brothers. Probably going to be a link in the description here. So the sonic screwdriver here, was the idea behind it is, if you look at close, I really liked the texture of the 9th and 10th Doctor's sonic screwdrivers, but what I was attempting to do here, it's rubbed off a bit from being used quite a lot, but what I was attempting to do was to make it look like it had verdigris. So you know, that's when you get the green effect that happens on bronze. So it's the idea that it's sort of an organic metal, but it's going verdigris, but you can still see the bronze effect on the raised areas. Now let's see where to start. The top part there, that one is just from when the kids were younger. They had a large size bubble blower, you know, the thing that you just like, you fill it up with soapy water and then you blow bubbles. Yeah, of course you do. Well, it's shaped like a large test tube, so I just chopped the end off and put it over the top of there, so that I just thought that looked like a, you know, I don't know, it just made it look like a larger light bulb, you know, like in the olden days, the really old electronic devices and the big chunky industrial light bulbs they had back then. So I just stuck that on there, and then again, this is just some kind of masking tape, electronic tape I believe it is. If you scratch off, I think that's probably red underneath there. But if I can get a close-up, I want to get a bit of a textured paint effect underneath. So that's why I just want to imply there's something else going on there. I'm not quite sure what it was supposed to be, but I think it was at a distance it may look like there's some kind of electronic circuitry going on. That was the idea behind it. You don't have to be too perfect. This was for filming a fan film, so you know, it was never meant to be like this kind of scrutiny. It was always going to be at a distance and being waved around, so you just wanted a little bit of detail, give an idea of texture, so anybody watching would think there's something happening. So that's that in there, so I wanted that to just paint it metal, so it looks like it's some kind of metal moulding around it. And then we've got the verdigris, this part here going around there, and also this whole part here. This is from a what's called an otoscope, which is the thing that stick in your ear to have a look at the doctors when they want to have a look in your ears. That's the sort of thing that they would use, and it's got some writing on it actually. Keeler, England, yeah, Keeler, England otoscope adapter, I don't know. So I stuck one end on the end, so if you look at the normal one, obviously it took off the bottom part there and then replaced it with the otoscope end, and you can see the two sides together. And then again used the from another otoscope adapter around the top there, just to give it a bit of a different texture. So again, at a distance, at a glance, these look like completely different sonic screwdrivers, in the same way that these ones look like completely different sonic screwdrivers, but at the same time they're recognizable as the same thing from the same universe, and anybody looking at it would know instantly, oh, that's a sonic screwdriver. That one a little bit more obvious because that was a quick job that I just did for a bit of fun, and then, you know, passed it off for this Dark Doctor fan film series. This one, however, was for my own fan film Doctor, and it had many years use. However, the this, I believe this was the original one. Yeah, so you can see on there the bit of glue and stuff that gunked up on there. So that was the original one. That's why that's green, because that was the one that was in there when I first painted that green. So I've got the spray paint on there, but the mechanism, can the camera pick it up? Yeah, you can see that it's all cracked down the middle. So this is really old now. I mean, we're talking 12, 15 maybe years ago. Is that something like that? It's an old one anyway. Similarly, this one, the mechanism's completely gone in there as well. If I take that out, it just falls to pieces. So that no longer works. However, we were supposed to be making some new Doctor Who fan films, and I wanted to have a new sonic screwdriver that I could use. Now this is much smaller than this one, but it's the same kind of design, and try to recreate there the otoscope adapter with the green stuff. So yeah, you can see there when I was talking about the green stuff, that's what it looks like when it sets. It just looks like green plastic. So you can shape that around and then just put some kind of texture on. So again, it's only for a filming prop. It's not meant to be scrutinized. So when that's being waved around, it will just look like, hopefully, it will look like this at a distance. That's the idea, that's the plan. Now you can see where I started to try and build my own, had a little curved shape, much like that one, to recreate the otoscope. But then, when I was looking through some parts, going back to this plastic bag, I found some more of the otoscope parts. That is the original part that goes on there. Let me see if I can... Yeah. So that's the one that I took off of this one. And as you can see, they don't want you to choke on it, so they put those little breathing holes in there. But that's the one from that one, so I kept it in a little plastic bag so I didn't lose it. Move that out of the way. So this part here is going to go on there just like that, and then that is going to cover that up. So I don't have to recreate the entire thing with the green stuff. I can just put that on there, and then that can be the end part of that. Sorry, just let me move this out of the way. I've got bits in my hands while I'm trying to talk to you. Yeah, so just looking to see. Yeah, so that's all that in there. That's going to go onto there. So all that needs doing is gluing into place, and then I'm going to use some green stuff to actually bulk up the top part there to look like the little nozzle that's on the end there. Now this one, I believe, yay, it's got light. Doesn't have sound though. That's okay though, because it's got light. The sound effects for a film, I would always replace that anyway. I wouldn't use the actual sound of that device. So as long as I can point it and it lights up and it looks cool, that's all that matters. As you can see on that one though, it's so old and cracked, poor thing. There, let's put that down. Let's move this one over here as well and just get that out of the way. And then moving on to this one. This is one that was used for, is that going to light up? Is there any life left in that? No, that one's completely dead. So I don't know if that would ever work if I actually put batteries back in it. This is one that was just from I don't know what they called it, but it was build your own sonic screwdriver type kit, where they had different options for handles, different options for the end parts, and then the emitters and different buttons and so on. And you could, it was like a modular kit, so you could put them together, swap them around and make your own version. But I wanted it to look a little bit different. I didn't want it to just be one of those kits, you know, stuck together and, oh, here's my sonic screwdriver. You don't want it to just look like a toy fresh out of the box. So that's why I painted up the handle, so that's a different colour to anybody else's, because it's a few different shades of paint, and then it's got different ink washes and so on. Likewise, the metal parts, it's not just spray painted a single metal, it's one colour of metal, then one shade of bronze metal, should I say, a golden colour, and then it's got a dark wash on it, and then dry brush over the top of that with another gold bronze colour again. And then on the top, I've got these parts of green stuff again. I've got the just the insulation tape just wrapped around the top of it. It just painted up at a distance. That looks fine, just as some kind of metal, like see in my head, these parts, these metal parts I'm talking about, it's like, you know, in the roof when you have like the lead around the edge of the roof. That's what that is in my head. That's what it looks like to me. Or if you've got like a really cheap repair on some copper pipes or something, you just have like some metal that's wrapped around it and welded into place. That's what that's meant to look like. This bit of plastic on the top, I'm not sure what it's from. It's just a bit of scrap plastic that I've, you know, left over from something else. And oh, it's dropping out actually. Oh, there you go. So it's dropping out, and on the inside you can see is a marble. So when this actually worked, you would have that little bit of plastic, just a piece of clear plastic with a marble in. When it actually works, the light would shine through it, and it would give it kind of an eerie silvery glow, and that looked kind of cool. And that was used in one of our fan film series from a year ago. This would have been to celebrate the 50th anniversary, and today's the 60th anniversary. So yeah, so this was made just over 10 years ago, and yeah, it's still holding up quite well. Just pop that one down there, which then brings us up to the latest edition. So this is originally from the War Doctor. So this is from the War Doctor from the 50th anniversary, and then it's been given obviously a paint job around there. So I wanted it to look like it's some kind of going back to the organic look of the TARDIS from the 9th and 10th Doctor's eras, which is also what that stone effect was meant to look like, the coral effect of the TARDIS from that era. I wanted this to have that same kind of like ivory or bone, mother of pearl kind of look. Or if it did look industrial, I wanted it to look like it was maybe ceramic, with again the copper gold metallic colour from the other sonic screwdriver from the 50th. Quick painted red there just to make it look like it's some kind of power bar, but obviously it's not going to be changing, it's not going to be lit up. If I had the time and resources, I would love to put some kind of LED in there. And then at the top there, this is where I've really gone to work on it to make a crystal emitter on this. Now if I show you a close up here, you can see there's my amazing crystal being held in place with some wires. Now that's actually the end of a biro, just a simple pen, a Bic pen that's been chopped down to size. The wire is actually just a paper clip that's been trimmed down, screwed into place, and then the only part of the crystal is actually the tip, which is just a little bit of a crystal that came in some bag of crystals that I picked up at some point, probably just at the seaside, and you know the things that you find at seaside, not find at seaside, sorry, in the seaside shops. For some reason, seaside shops, around here at least, always seem to be selling crystals. So yeah, I picked up some crystals thinking, you know what, one day I may turn that into a sonic screwdriver, or maybe I'm going to do a Jedi cosplay, and that can be my Kyber crystal or something like that. So I picked up a little bag of crystals, and that's what that is in there. And so that is the big barrow stuck on, held into place with paper clips, and then a tiny bit of a crystal on the end. I had to file down the actual emitter from the War Doctor's sonic screwdriver, and then of course the light carries through that, so then the entire thing glows up as if we've got a glowing red crystal, which to me looks kind of cool. So that's the collection so far. I'm just going to pop these back, and I'm going to be working on this sonic screwdriver, my little mini sonic screwdriver from my own Doctor in the fan film series, and then that way one day hopefully I can make the next episode of the Doctor Who fan film series featuring my own Doctor, and we can continue waving around my very own custom sonic screwdriver. Okay, I'm going to put these away and then I can get to work on this one. Alright, that's what we're going to do. Right, so first of all, I need to stick this bit from the otoscope onto the bottom. So I'm going to load it up with bicarbonate of soda. The reason I'm doing that is if you are not aware, bicarbonate of soda is really good for making superglue stick. It just gives it something to purchase, but also it fills in all the gaps as well. So if I fill up the bit from the otoscope there with the bicarbonate of soda, then load it up with the superglue will soak into the bicarbonate of soda, and it will form a nice firm bond underneath. And so that's what I'm doing there. Just clean it up a little bit. Now that little bit, I have no idea what that comes from. I just found that in a little bits box when I was looking for something that might fit on the end. So just cutting off the excess bits. I don't want that big bit sticking out. And I'm just going round and round there. And what I didn't realise is right now some of the super glue is actually trickling down the handle of the sonic screwdriver, but never mind. So just making a little hole, so the pin that's sticking out at the end of the otoscope, the little pin then can slot into it just like that. Straightforward enough really. So just put a little blob of super glue, get that on there, then in a second, yeah, there we are, just put a little bit more bicarbonate of soda on again, and that just again speeds up the drying process and gives it a little bit of a little bit of purchase, something to grab hold onto. So that was me then putting bicarbonate of soda on the bottom again because it was trickling down the handle, as I said. So just give it a quick clean up, and once that's about ready, yeah, just checking it still works and I've not somehow broken it while I was going there. Just getting a bit of the green stuff. So green stuff, as I said before, bit of blue, bit of yellow, you mix them both together, you get green. So that's all I'm doing here, is just getting off the middle part there where they were touching in the middle. Yeah, you can get it where it comes as two separate pieces of putty, but for some reason this particular brand puts them like stuck together, so the middle part is always really hard because guess what, it's already set. Yeah, so anyway, always have to cut out the middle part there. So just mixing it up and mixing it up and mixing it up. It was really hurting my thumbs because it had gone quite hard. It is quite cold in this workshop. So yeah, it hurt my thumbs, that's why I was trying with the pliers and it didn't really work, so I got rid of that. And yeah, just going on and on and on, trying to mix it. Now the reason I've got the bowl of water there is that as long as you keep everything wet, it will not stick to stuff. You're okay, you can keep using it as long as you keep everything wet. So just get a little bowl of water and dip your tools, your fingers, everything in there, just keep it wet. And it's just a case of going around now, just making it fit to the shape, just going so it's more or less evenly distributed around the base of the otoscope on the bottom, the base of the otoscope on the base of the sonic screwdriver. Yeah, something like that. So just going around, making some lines, some indentations, just so it looks a little bit like the original sonic screwdriver, the larger version. And it's just a case of, again, yep, squeezing in some lines, but that will make it deform, so then you go around again, just squeeze it back into shape, and then you squeeze some more lines, and then you squeeze it back into shape, and then you squeeze some more lines. As I was going along, it sort of became more like holes rather than the serrated edges, I guess you'd call it. And I kind of like the little holes. It makes it sort of like okay, in my head, that might be where the whistling noise comes from the sonic screwdriver. It comes from those little holes there. It is now, that's now canon within my own fan films. So just going round and around, and sooner or later we'll get finished with this. It's just there's no hard and fast rules. It really is just a case of doing it until you feel happy. You know, you can carry on and keep going and going and going, or you can just do a really quick job. It's entirely up to you. I was thinking about doing a bit of a texture underneath, but I decided not to, so just going around and smoothing it all off now. So first of all, smoothing it off around the bottom where it meets the sonic screwdriver, and then I'm going to go around the top and make that all smooth off as well. And now I just need to leave it to set. Hi, can you see me? Okay, so this is actually the 24th of November. So 23rd of November when I said hello and showed you my sonic screwdrivers. Now it's the 24th of November because it was very, very cold, so I thought, you know what, I can't be bothered doing it last night, and I came in to do it again tonight after I'd been at work all day. You get the idea. Right, I'm leaving that as it is now because I need to let the green stuff cure, and then when I come back tomorrow, that should be nice and firm. I was going to say firm, that's not even a word, is that a word? Someone look that up. Nice and firm, so then tomorrow I can paint it. And I don't think there's going to be anything else needing to do other than painting it. So yeah, I found that little thing. I don't know what that thing is that's stuck on the end. If you know, drop a comment, let me know. I'd be interested to find out. Be interested to find out if someone knows. But I'm going to look at it tomorrow, see if anything needs filing down or any other final touches, and then it'll just be a case of painting it up. So, okay, right, yeah, let's just let that green stuff cure. Right, I'm done for the night. Okay, yeah, I was going to do one of those pretending to walk off things, but we all know it's not real because then I have to come back and switch the camera off, so I don't know why we do that. YouTube mentality. Right, so that's been left overnight to cure. It's now quite firm. It's not been 24 hours, which would be more ideal. But what I'm wanting to do is get this spray painted now with a base coat, then I can leave that to dry because my wife is actually working this afternoon. So if I leave the base coat to be drying through the day, it should be dry enough that I can then do the paint job while she's out at work. So that's my plan. So I'm just going to quickly tidy this up, give it a base coat even, and then we're going to go out and walk Iris and spend some time together. So looking at the original, as I said, the original one, the idea was to paint it green and then give it the gold over the top, so then it would look like brass or bronze. It's got some kind of verdigris effect going on with it. However, it was used for fan films, and on the camera it just looked like it was green. It didn't really look like verdigris, but I really wanted it to look more metallic. So I think what I'm going to do this time is actually just give it a black base coat rather than the green base coat, and then I can always put green washes and things on to, you know, change the colour afterwards, but I don't want it to be quite as green underneath. Yeah, it's one of those strange ones. I kind of like it because it looks kind of alien, and obviously Doctor Who is an alien, so I kind of like that effect, but it does just look like some, you know, strange greeny gold thing. I don't know. I can't make my mind up. I really can't make my mind up. See, when you're making something, you have to make these decisions. Do you go for the old green effect, or do I go for something that's different, that's more metallic? You see, the reason I'm going for the smaller one rather than just getting another large prop, well, toy, let's be honest. The reason I'm going for the small one is I want it to be discreet. I want it to be more of an elegant design, something that's more practical. You know, keeps it in his pocket, pulls it out, does what he needs to do with the sonicking, and then can pop it away again. I don't want it to be a big bombastic thing. You know, I don't want to be using the extended thing. I don't want to be using the, you know, the claw that they had on the Matt Smith one or on the new 14th Doctor one. I don't like these giant things. I want it to be small. I just want it to be this practical thing. Oh yeah, I can't describe it. So yeah, what I'm thinking is I'm going to go for the metallic rather than the verdigris effect. I'm just going to go for the straightforward metallic because I don't want it to draw attention to it. I just want it to be this little metal thing that it pulls out and does the thing, and no one really, you know, pays attention to it. Yeah, so I'm going to do that. Right, so first of all, let's just tidy it up. If I give you a close-up look, that's basically what the baking soda with the super glue ends up looking like that. So as you can see, it gives it some texture as well. So I think I'm going to tidy that up a little bit. I was actually going to this bottom ridge. I was thinking of taking that off, but actually I quite like it. I like this. It's actually a hexagonal shape as well, which obviously, you know, mirrors the TARDIS console, so that's kind of cool. It's got a little hexagon on it. Yeah, I like it actually. Okay, so I might just file down some of that where that's built up, Now that this green stuff's actually set though, you can see it's not perfectly smooth. Like there you can see that's smooth where that's been, you know, the original mould has been machined and then, you know, it's been moulded and pressed and it is manufactured. This was made just in the same way as I showed you with this part. We just stick it on and then, you know, just push it into shape and put some lines on and so on, which is what I was going to do on this part, but then as I said, I kind of liked the way it had the holes. It makes it look like it's maybe the sound emitter or something. But anyway, I digress. What you can do is, what I was going to say, is you can actually go back and you can trim it down. You can get a craft knife or something and trim off some of the excess if you want. You can try and smooth it down that way, or you can put, what I could have done is actually just put a ridge on in the green stuff without actually any texture, and then just let that set, and then put another layer of green stuff over the top, and then just done texture on that. So whereas with this one, as I was putting the you know, the crafting tool in there, the sculpting tool, when that was going in, it was pushing the whole thing out of shape. So you can just put down a line first and then go over the top once that's set, so it doesn't push the whole thing out of shape. But I am trying to do this quickly because you know, that's just the way I work. It depends on, you know, sometimes you do a job and you want it to be the best possible thing ever. However, you know, I've got a full-time job to do as well. You know, I've got a life, you know, I don't have time to do this, unfortunately. So yeah, I have to do it quickly and the best I can in the time I've got. So that means I have to stick it on and do it all in one go. I don't have time to let it set and then come back and do it. So yeah, anyway, I'm just going to file this down and then I'm going to give it a quick spray paint to give a base coat. And then when my wife goes to work, I can come in here and do some painting. Okay, good to go. Right, now I've just filed this down. As I was filing it down, and I was looking at this end piece, and I was thinking that actually looks like a bishop in chess. So yeah, not only is it just like a nice cool little shape with a hexagon and so on and so forth, but actually when you look at it, it looks like a bishop from a chess piece. So, you know, like the doctors playing games kind of thing. And yeah, I don't know, I just thought I'd point that out. Right, I'm off to go and spray paint this now. So just quickly, this is the primer I'm currently using, just because when I was looking to buy some, this was cheap and I don't know, it's what I normally use. It's kind of a decent one. Now, if you look at this though, it looks like it's that kind of plastic that doesn't like paint, which is a bit annoying. I didn't realise it was going to be that kind of plastic, but you know, we'll see how it dries, because I'm really just wanting it to go into the recesses anyway. I've just got this hanging there, let it dry, and then once it's dry I can have a look and see what needs doing. But once you've got a coat on, as long as you've got a base coat sticking to it, you can go over the top and, you know, give it a second dusting. But yeah, I'm just going to leave that for the moment anyway, let it dry, see how it turns out later. Here we are now that the black undercoat has a chance to dry, and I did give it another quick going over. That's what I meant when I said to give it a dusting, just a quick once over to just to make sure that it had actually got enough paint for coverage, and that's enough for me for my purposes. I don't need it to be that solid because I'm going to be going over with the gold and or some kind of brassy gold, brass, bronze kind of colouring. Just masked off the end to keep the spray paint off of the bulb, as it's going to hopefully look like eventually. So comparing to the original then, so this is my old sonic screwdriver that I use for filming, and as you can see we have a silver metallic at the bottom and then a black bit there, and then we have the gold in the middle, and then we have silver and then dirty copper. Yeah, I wanted that to look like lead or something like that, just, you know, any kind of cheap metal that you'd use to just sort of hold something in place. That part's not meant to look like it's, you know, some hugely technologically advanced thing. That is literally weighed. At some point the Doctor has just crafted a bulb onto the end of the sonic screwdriver, replacing the emitter that was there. I was so sad when I realised that had cracked, by the way. But anyway, so on this one my intention is just like the other one, yeah, gonna have silver down here, and then keep that part black, bit of silver again, and then go into the gold or bronze colour there, and then a bit of silver, and then again having this like a really dirty, you know, lead copper kind of effect on the top part. So straightforward. Now what I'm going to be doing is I am going to be dry brushing mostly for this. Now some people say, oh, dry brushing's for beginners. It's like, no, dry brushing is for metallics. The best way to get a metallic finish is dry brushing in my experience. So that's what I'm going to do, and that's the point of painting, is there's no such thing as a beginner's technique. Different techniques can be used for different jobs, and you have to find the right technique for the right job, and in my opinion dry brushing is the best way to do metallics. Okay, that said, also, I see a lot of people talking about palettes these days. I've been using this tile as a palette for about 15 years now, and it's still going strong. I still use this one all the time. I don't know why you need a fancy palette. A bit of tile will do. So, preparation, got a bit of tissue paper ready. Well, tissue paper for, yeah, you know, kitchen roll. Ready for the dry brushing. So, if you don't know, you get paint on the brush. You only want a tiny, tiny dab of paint on the end of the brush. You don't want a lot. Okay? And then rub off most of it on the tile. Rub off the rest of it on the tissue paper, and then you gently stroke over the top of the thing that you want into dry brush. Now the key points there: hardly put any on the brush, wipe most of it off, wipe the rest of it off. It should look like there's nothing on the brush when you go into dry brush. Okay, and that's what I'm going to be doing. That said, yeah, let's get going then. Oh, could show you the paints, I suppose. So these are just the paints that I happen to have. I really need to get some new paints. I just don't like buying paints for some reason. I use the ones I've got until they've all gone. So we have the base Screaming Skull. I also have layer paint Brass Scorpion, and then I also have base Balthasar Gold to choose from for the gold metallic, or the brassy gold. And then we also have Bolt Gun Metal, Chainmail, and Mithril. So these are all obviously from the Citadel range. So yeah. So that's my choice of the goldy colour, and that's my choice of the silvery colour, and I'll just mix and match as I go along. Okay, there you go, painting tutorial's done. Let's go and start with the dry brushing. Now that's finished. All that's left to do is to remove the masking tape from the bulb, as I laughingly call it. And oh, would you look at that? Nice. The okay, I'll have to clean that up. Okay, I'll clean that one up in a second, but yeah. Don't you just hate it when that happens? So what's happened there is the undercoat, the spray that I was using has obviously, when I had this sort of hanging to dry, has trickled down and gone underneath the masking tape. Didn't do a very good job of masking, did you? Okay, right, so here we have the two next to each other though. So as you can see, no longer has the green effect of the original, it is just a straightforward metallic. And that, once I've cleaned up that part, I believe that is all good to go. Yeah, I'll just get a bit wider. You can use this one and need the sound effect. That's my amazing sound effect. Yeah, we do better than that when we do the actual fan films. I might just hit it with a quick spray of lacquer, which I use this this spray varnish, spray lacquer, and if you live in the UK then you'll know why I'll never be able to buy this again. But yeah, I think I might just give that a coat just to protect it a little bit. But I think that is, yeah, I'm very happy with how that's turned out. You can now, if we look on both of these together, where's the writing? There we are. Now I did think about filing off the writing on the new one, but I wanted to keep it because it was on the old one, and you know, I want to keep them similar. So you know, it's just like a relic from the old sonic screwdriver carrying on to the new one. Okay, yeah, I guess I'd best get this cleaned up, hit it with a thing of lacquer. I'm really kind of disappointed about that. Anyway, yeah, okay, I'll stop talking now. I'll go and get that cleaned up, hit it with some lacquer, and then get some nice pictures for our gallery.